Hello, this is Michael Burton, Mike Be Creative. Welcome back to another episode on my channel. Today I wanted to do a narration over a painting I did of pretty much an eagle, one of the eagles that I used for my painting, Pursue It Again. The painting was done in Corel Painter 2021, and some of the brushes that I was using were the real 2B pencil to sketch out the eagle at 70% opacity and the 65% grain and 5% bleed as far as sketching out the eagle. And the flat brush, the flat color brush was used to paint the eagle, including the eagle's feathers. And I started out with the two darkest values, followed by the mid-tones, the lights, and the highlights. The painting the flat colors, the large shapes, were created from that, and I painted those at 100% opacity. To paint and blend the colors of the different values, I lowered the opacity on the flat color brush, ranging from 8% to 14% on average. Some other parts were higher, but that was only just for a brief moment that I used those. So probably about 14% was the average, though, as far as me blending the colors. So I'm also maybe looking to checking out to see if I should get a like a cover over, like a clear cover over the display, and see if that helps me with reducing the wear and tear and getting scrapes and things on the screen. So, but now back on to the rest of the narration of this video. Thanks. As far as me doing certain things the way I do them in the painting process, I started out like, of course, with the rough sketch, but I started out with the large flat shapes first because you want to simplify your painting to help you to do things without getting it too complicated too early and then trying to change a lot of things about it. So you do the large shapes first, that's simple, and then you do the second larger shape and so forth until you get down to the smaller details. So, and if you want to, like with me, I use the layers. So my flats were on one layer, and then after that, I added another layer and began to build more on top of that layer, and so forth until I felt that where I was going with it, that I liked it. And with the feathers, again, as I was saying, I used a flat color brush, and it worked out really well. And so I would recommend, just when you want to use these brushes, start out with just a few brushes first. But even before that, like you may want to set up just a regular document and just start playing around with different brushes and see how they interact, on your document, on your canvas. So I'll probably do another, simple quick video showing you things about that. But those things would definitely help, like with your painting process. So right now I'm not giving instructions, more so I'm just kind of giving you a general idea, on how I operate and why I do the things I do. So and then another thing is with this eagle, I'm not trying to like get it exactly like super photorealistic, like the photo right there. It's just to give a good idea of it, because besides that, like, the Eagles really weren't the main focus, but they were important. So But those were some of the points that I wanted to make. And let's see about the next aspect of it. Illustration. Some of the reasons I included the eagle in my painting, Pursue It Again, it was a lot behind that. First the eagles were put in last, and it wasn't really even thought of to put those in the illustration beforehand. So that wasn't until I experienced seeing eagles on my graduation weekend ceremony at Southern New Hampshire University. This was back around the beginning of November of 2021. So prior to the ceremony, I was witnessing, encountering, and studying hawks, eagles, and vultures. And kind of in between that time, I was asking God for a sign to let me know, like, man, like my hardships and just that the hardships that I was going through, would pay off. That I was hoping that all this wasn't in vain. I won't go into a lot of details with it. I'll say that for another video. But let's just say, like, I quit my job back in around 2018. That I outgrew a number of years, before that anyway. And so I did that and moved out of Chicago with my wife, and that was for, like, both for myself to get out of my comfort zone and also to get in a better environment, a warmer climate for my wife to further her career in social work, and make a new start for me. It wasn't easy starting over, moving into different states, having twins in between that time while still pursuing my BA degree in graphic design and media arts over at Southern New Hampshire University. And that was after, like, being out of school for nearly 20 years. But back to the eagles. I first started seeing hawks and vultures flying, like, over my head and around the neighborhood at the time, at about the same time in the morning, between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. And it would be when I'd be, like, sometimes just going out in the yard or especially doing yard work. And I managed to get some of it on my camera phone, the footage. And I then witnessed them in a more personal way. So I won't go into all of the moments that I've had, but a few of them I'll share. Like, for one, I remember one day I was driving my kids to daycare, right? And I was making this left turn on the block where I was supposed to drop them off at. So as I'm making this left a little further up, I saw this huge silhouette of this large bird flying through the trees. It was like going left in the same direction as we were, but just going through the trees. So, and the wings on this bird was, like, huge, powerful. And I was thinking that could be an eagle or some other large rapture. So I took my kids inside the daycare, and I came out, and two large raptors were flying over the house and around on the block. So just as I was about to grab my camera, they flew away. So I waited a good minute or two to see if I could capture them on film. They didn't come back, so I got in the car a little disappointed. And so I got back in the car, and I drove about maybe just 3 or 4 blocks around this long curving road, right? And there stood a large brown bird in the middle of the road, maybe 600 feet or so from in front of my car, right? So I was trying to hurry up and quickly grab my camera, as I stopped on the road while looking out for cars. It was early that day, but look, the bird faced me for a few moments with his broad chest, it was like, boom, focused eyes and this gray and gold beak. And then it looked, like, to the right. But right before it looked to the right, it was like it was looking right at me, right? And so I was just like, wow, let me get this, because nobody would believe this. So then as I went to reach for my camera, the bird looked to the right, and then it flew over a yard and out back into the woods. So, man, I wish I could have recorded that moment. But like I said, I wasn't going to go into all of the moments, but just say that there were a lot more. And I was like, man, this can't be a fluke. This got to mean something, right? When we continue to experience these moments with raptors, hawks, and vultures, and then now it's like I witnessed these bald eagles. So, like, the bald eagle experience was, like, pretty remarkable to me, because I was undecided if I should like attend my graduation ceremony at Southern New Hampshire, back in November of 2021, because I was so concerned and consumed with finding work. And after having an extremely challenging year for my BA degree, I just wanted to school out of my vocabulary for a little while. Well, I'm glad my wife insisted I attend the ceremony, and my mother, she met up with us down there, at the New Hampshire. And we stayed at at the same hotel. So, but like the day before the ceremony, we decided to drive down to downtown Boston, and which we really did have a really great time, by the way. So if you've never been to Boston downtown, man, it's like people don't even talk about Boston. They have so much down there to do, with the over by the water. Man, great seafood, just great food, period. There's a lot of things to do in the history like the United States, but I won't get too caught up into that. But yeah, we were just 45 minutes away from there, from Boston, from Southern New Hampshire. And on the way to Boston on the highway, I saw a bald eagle, like in perfect flight. It flew like directly over our car. Man, I just thought like, man, like that's a sign, that's a message from God, man. Like I am, like God telling me, man, I'm watching over you. This is your path. This is not in vain. You really went through it, trying to get through school and with the kids and everything, and and the wife, just all that other stuff. So, but yeah, so then we steady on the road to Boston, right? So 15 to 20 minutes later, I spotted another bald eagle, man. It was sitting, like not well sitting, but like standing on top of the highway, one of the light posts, like on my driver's side. And like in his chest, man, them eagles be looking swole, but yeah, his chest was out, looking all confident and sure. And he was in his pose like as if he was staring directly into our car. And that blew my mind. And I was like, man, I began to realize, yes, I achieved something, during my times, where most would stop, quit, or put education on hold, because it's just too much. So, but like I said, there were many other number of encounters that I've experienced with various raptures that I'll say for another time. But this was the reason I added the eagles in the painting, the way that I did it. So I believe that they were sent as messengers from God telling me not to give up. Don't second guess my gut feeling, my intuition, hearing that small, still voice. He has given me everything I need to succeed. And from seeing that, it's a little scary, like walking by faith and working on my dreams, and my visions, and trying to pave a path only with what I have, my story and my imagination. So with that, I guess I was chosen, to be like, an example, of hope, during these trying times, and I believe that, and so I have to act on them. So, but with that, I'm just sharing it, man, because I feel like we gotta just keep it positive and just believe that, things will work out. And that's part of what I put into a lot of my work. I just don't draw or paint all the time, just to do something cool or funny. But I try to balance it out, and give people something to think on, something to inspire them or motivate them. But yeah, but let's keep one another in our prayers, best interests and wishes. Get out of our comfort zones, encourage one another, collaborate and elevate, man. Elevate our minds. That's what them eagles stand for, elevation, man. But on another note with that, like when I was working on that eagle and posted up the illustration right around that time, not too far off, my nephew that plays football in college now, he had posted up a scripture. I think it was probably right before the game. And it was Isaiah 40:31. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. So Like, that was a good scripture. And just looking a little bit up on the meaning of the eagles, whether it's from different religions or different cultures, or other parts of history, some form or another, the eagles are like important signs. They help us to drive and push ourselves to go higher, hint elevation. It also can, be like a rebirth, which it felt like I did, with the new things I've experienced from the ups and downs, in a renewed life. But that's basically it, man. Power and just direction, resilience, getting through the difficulties. And, through God's grace, I got through some of the most difficult moments in my life. But in closing, I just wanted to say, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my demonstration and listening to one of my backstories behind one of the paintings. And actually the eagle for the Pursue It Again painting. So again, please like and subscribe to my channel. It's Mike B Creative. Mike B for Pursue It Again LLC. Also, there's probably about another 10 minutes left on the demonstration, so you can continue to watch it if you want. May, be relaxing to you, or, learn something from it. But other than that, peace out.